Welcome to my Makeup Monday for Monday the 25th of November 2024. My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, so welcome. Today I'm going to showcase one of our kits from our kits collection. This kit is currently available from the Stampin' Up! Online store, so that's a good thing. There's a couple of kits that are currently unavailable, but I will be keeping my eye on those, and when they come back into stock I will let you know. I'm particularly waiting on one of them as well. So anyway, let's go down to the craft desk and we can get started. Okay, this is how our kits from Stampin' Up! Come. They're really cool. They're boxed and they come, and these boxes are great to keep for other things, but they come really well, self-contained, all-inclusive in a box. So we are going to have a look at the Nature's Painting Kit. So this is a kit that's was released at the beginning of November, I'm pretty sure. It's $44 and you get so many things in this kit. It's really cool. So let me show you what you get. You get this little notebook that's got all these beautiful images on like watercolor paper. I'm not sure how many. I think, did I read you get 24 projects, sorry. So there's 24 pages here, and I think there's 2 of each design. Yes, that looks like that's right. So 24 project sheets, 2 of each design in this little notebook, and it's on watercolor paper, so really thick cardstock paper, and there's all sorts of designs in here. To me that looks a bit like frangipanis or maybe a magnolia, this one. There's ones that like have got borders and you could stamp in the middle. These are poppies. They're just beautiful line art drawings. That's a nice edge one again. I don't know what those leaves are, those palm leaves. I can't remember what their correct name is. There's a beautiful waratah. That'll be a nice one to do. So you do get 2 of each design. Sunflower. Now I have done a couple of these to show as samples. So here is my sunflower one. And you also get in the kit an aqua painter and 8 watercolor pencils. So you get everything you need to start doing your coloring. So that was the sunflower one, and this is my practice, well, not my practice one, but this is my take on the sunflowers, and I was really happy with that. The pencil colors I've used in this one are Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie, Garden Green, and what's the brown one called? Early Espresso. But I've put it on a crushed curry card base, and I think that looks really quite nice. I think it works because the Pumpkin Pie and the Daffodil Delight sort of blended together kind of creates crushed curry. So that's the sunflower one. There's lots, as I said, beautiful designs that you can just color with your watercolor pencils and your aqua painter. Where is poinsettias? That's the one we're going to finish. I've started doing this one, and that's the one we're going to finish off coloring in. So the first one I did was the one that's on the cover, and I used the Flirty Flamingo pencil. I am by no means a watercoloring expert. I think I hit and miss most of the time, but you know what? You don't have to have it perfect with watercoloring, and I pretty much kind of copied how the front panel was done, but it's with a Flirty Flamingo watercolor pencil. So, and this is my poinsettia that I've started. So with the instructions you get a little bit of guidance onto how to do it. So that's one of the designs. These are all the designs in the little notebook. That's another design with some guidance, And this is the poinsettia one with some guidance. I guess if you're a real beginner, this would be helpful, but I just sort of go for it. So I'm going to pack that away and get my pencils out. I've got another aqua painter that I've already got filled with water. So I am going to move that to one side. I'm going to get my, put that there. These are my samples. I really like my my sunflower one. The only thing you may need is a pencil sharpener. That doesn't come in the kit. And I just have some pencil sharpeners I got from Kmart here in Australia. They don't cost very much, a couple of dollars. And that's a handy thing to have when you're using watercolor pencils. Now I am going to grab my little silicone mat. And you'll see why. So I do have some water still left in my aqua painter, so that's good. So I only really need the real red pencil and the garden green pencil. The other ones I could put to one side and not worry about with this. So I'm just going to show you how I watercolor. And as I said before, I am by no means an expert on watercoloring, but I think it can make any person look like a professional. I think this is coming along quite nicely with the shading in it. But as I said, I'm definitely not an expert. Now, what I do is I get my watercolor pencil and I just put some color down on the veins of the leaf. Wherever there's line art, I just sort of do that. And you can see I am not being overly fussy on what I'm doing here. And then I just go back and color that in a bit. So we'll just do, I'll just put some watercolor pencil on two of the, I don't know whether you call these leaves on a poinsettia or the flower. I don't know. I'm not that clever. I'm not that botanical. So I'll put that to one side. And I'm going to get my aqua painter. And I'm just going to, it's always good to have a tissue or a paper towel as well. That's just stained with green. It's not actually coming off green. I'm just going to squirt some water onto my little silicone mat, just so I've got a little drops of water. I find that's the easiest thing rather than pushing through the aqua painter onto your work, onto your project. And then I just pick up a little bit of water off my silicone mat. And now I'm going to come over here. And I'm just going to move the watercolor pencil all over my, is it a leaf? Let's call it a leaf. All over my, no, let's call it a poinsettia. All over my poinsettia. And I just carefully go to the lines so that I don't color outside the lines. And that just moves the watercolor pencil around your project, having your aqua painter wet. And I just go back and I just sort of tweak it a bit. Can you see how that leaf was done? So let's dip it back into our little puddle, little tiny puddle of water. And I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to carefully move the watercolor pencil around on my project. I'm just going to carefully move it around, and when I get to sort of the edge of the petal, I sort of just carefully put a line there so that I don't go outside the line. That's the way I stop myself from getting a bit carried away and going outside the line. And then I just swoosh it all around. And if you want to go back and, you know, just tickle it into place, that's what I call it, just tickling it. Tickling the, blend it into place. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So there are two of our leaves done, or petals. And they are wet, of course, so they will dry off and they will look a little bit different once dry. So now I'm going to get my real red pencil again and go up the vein of the petal or the leaf and just put some pencil onto it. I might just add it to all the leaves And you can see I am not being very precious about adding my watercolor pencil. I'm doing it quite haphazardly and roughly. I hope that's making sense to you guys. So I chose to do this for my Makeup Monday this week because we've been away this weekend in the Hunter Valley at a wedding. So I didn't sort of have time to prepare much, so I thought, let's do a kit. And I just wanted to have a play with this kit. So now I'm just dipping it back into my little puddle of water, and I'm just moving the watercolor pencil around, and I'm just going to make sure I stay inside the lines. Just move it around. There we go. And depending on how much water you've got on your aqua painter, depends on how dark or light the blending of your watercolor pencil becomes. Does that make sense? Oh, sorry, you can't answer me because I'm not live. So I'm just going on to the next leaf, and once your aqua painter starts drying off, it won't spread the pencil for you. So that's when you know you've got to dip it back into your little puddle or squeeze a bit more through. I don't like, as I said, squeezing my aqua painter over my project. I find that's fraught with danger. I prefer to have a little puddle on my silicone mat and just dip into it. I hope that's making sense. I think it is. So yeah, we had a night away up in the Hunter Valley. We went to a wedding, and that was really nice. And on our way home on Sunday, we called into, well, we just sort of did a drive-by of the venue that our son and his fiancée Stephanie have booked. We could see that they were setting up for a wedding on the Sunday afternoon, so we didn't get out. Didn't want to be a nuisance, but the venue looks lovely. And then we did a drive-by of where we booked our accommodation, which is just sort of 10 minutes down the road from the winery that they have booked. So that was really nice to have a little bit of a sneaky peek and a bit of reconnaissance. That was good. And then on our way home, like once we'd done our reconnaissance, now where's my, there it is. I'm just seeing where my lines are. Once we'd done our reconnaissance, we went to a lovely cafe in the Hunter Valley called Taste of the Country, and that was lovely. Caught up with another lady there that's a demonstrator, Louise Jamison. Said hello to her, and we had a nice lunch there before we headed home. So, oh, that's a leaf. Naughty. I shouldn't have done that. And that's a leaf too. Well, guess what? They've become poinsettia petals. That was silly. I wasn't concentrating, see? I got carried away with my story. Not to worry. Let's see if we can recover it. Okay, so... And I'll show you how I do the berries. Can you see the berries, the little tiny berries? Let me show you how I do those. I just, once again, tickle the tip of the watercolor pencil. And the berries. And then I just put it on. I find that's easier than trying to add colour from the watercolor pencil on such a small little section. Okay. So I'm just going to squeeze that through and clean it off. And I'm going, so I've got clear water in this, and I'm just going to try and sop up some of that red, which is not probably going to work here. I think that one's going to become a poinsettia leaf. I've got too much red on it. That's okay. We can cover that up with a banner. There's no mistakes, remember? Okay, so now I'm going to get my garden green Actually, there's a couple of little berries up the top here, so just tickle the pencil tip, and I'm just going to put some red there. I'm going to tickle the pencil tip and put some red there, a little bit more red. Okay, so now I'm just going to squirt that through and mop up that puddle. And let me think. Oh, I've missed a couple of berries as well, see? This is really colouring in. I don't know about you, but colouring in is just so relaxing. Except when you colour with somewhere you shouldn't. Okay, so I'm going to pop some more, a little puddle of water onto my silicone sheet. I'm going to grab my garden green pencil and I'm going to put a bit of watercolour pencil on my leaves. And as I said, I'm not being overly fussy. I'm being quite haphazard on how much watercolour pencil I'm putting onto the paper. I'm going to do all of these ones down the bottom here. Has anybody else bought this kit? It's such a beautiful kit. It's $44 and it comes with everything you need. And I'm tempted to run a class with this kit, but I don't think I can do it before Christmas because I just think everybody's going to start getting too busy now leading up to Christmas. So now I've just dipped it into my little puddle of water and I'm just spreading that pencil around. Now that's quite watery, so I might just leave it at that for the moment. And I'm going on to my next leaf and I'm just spreading the watercolour pencil around. It spreads quite easily. There we go. Just spread that a bit more evenly. That's the beauty. You can go back if you think, oh no, that's not spread out enough, I want to do a bit more. You can go back onto it and a little bit more water and spread it out a little bit more. I hope it's making sense. But yeah, I think this would be a good class. And you could do a couple, we could make a couple into cards and then you've got the rest to take home with you. I am really thinking of doing it as a class. Okay, let's go over to this one. And just spread our ink around. Oh, it's not ink, it's a watercolour pencil. There we go. So we've got some beautiful kits in our kits collection. So don't forget to have a look online at those kits. They're not in any of our catalogues. They're only shown online in the online store. Just making sure I just don't want to go outside lines. Just a little bit in there. Okay, now we need the garden green again. I hope this isn't too boring. And I'm going to put some garden green over that leaf that I accidentally put red on. That other one was too much. I couldn't salvage that one, so I'm just going to spread the watercolour pencil around. There we go. And you find the more you use watercolour aqua painters and watercolour paper, the better, and the watercolour pencils, the better you get at it. It's like anything, the more you practice, the better you get at it. So I'm not going to actually, I'm just going to spread this. I think that's where our banner's going to go. I think that's a definite yes. Our banner has to go across that. That's a bit of a mess. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to mess it up. So there's a little tiny branch of leaf there. So I am just going to tickle the tip of the pencil and just put my greenery down like so. Now I can go back and just add it. And I find if I want to add and fill in anything, I just use it this way. I just tickle the tip of the pencil and go back and add things. Add a bit more colour onto my leaf if I want to. That one's a bit of a disaster. That's sad. I'm going to cry. Yeah, I think this is a little bit of leaf. But nobody's going to know if it's under the banner. Okay. So I'll turn this up this way. And these are looking darker because they're still wet. These have dried off. So let's go up like this. I can hear kids over at the park. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're playing on the equipment over at the park. Okay, this one I'm just going to put it down like so. And let's go with this big one. The only thing is these are obviously made for American cards, so we do have to try and trim them down for our card fronts, and sometimes that doesn't work, which is a little bit sad. I wish they'd make them our metric sizes, but we'll see how we go. Because I think this would make a nice Christmas card. I was just going to get more water, but I don't think I need to. This is, to me, a very Australian sort of Christmas card, the poinsettias. I wonder if they have poinsettias in America or other parts of the country the world where it's cold. I wonder if poinsettias are in flower then. I don't know. Maybe somebody could tell me. Okay, just very careful. And that's why they give you a really fine aqua painter, so you can just get into all the little points and everything when you're colouring. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let's have a look. I think that's looking okay. I've got to put some yellow in the middle of that third flower. But yes, that's definitely where our banner's going to go. No, there's no mistakes in crafting. Okay, so this is a Daffodil Delight Aqua Painter, and I am just going to tickle the tip of the pencil rather than trying to apply it to the cardstock. I think that works just as well. So that's what we're looking at. I'll hope that's coming into focus. And as I said, I am by no means the best aqua painter, watercolouring person around, but even if you're not, it seems to work out, and that's really good. So those are still a bit wet, so we might just mop that up, put that over here. Where's my lid? Here it is. Okay, so you can see that is going to be quite big, and I don't know how much we can trim down. Let's have a go. Let's see what we can trim off. Although maybe I should let it dry. Yes, maybe that would be a good idea. I'm going to get a black card base, and I'm going to do my banner. So, I was wondering what colour card base to do, and I think black is good. Okay, we'll just move that over to there. And this is 14.8 or 14.9, scored at 10.5. So let's see. You could always hit it with a heat tool, a heat gun to dry it off, but I'm just, no, it's looking quite okay. Okay, let's see how much we can take off it. So that's 11.5 centimeters. And generally our card front matting piece is 10 centimeters. I am not going to be able to get 1.5 centimeters off this. So let's go down to 11. Okay, take 0.5 centimeter off that side. And let's see if I can get 0.5 centimeter off this side without cutting any of the image off. Okay, that's exactly, that's 10.5. That's the size of our card front. So don't see how we're going to get that down any smaller, but that's okay. And then this is 15.1 centimeters wide, and we normally have our card front at 14.4. So let's take a little bit. If I do it exactly at 14.9, I'm just thinking that should cover our card base. We're not going to have a border, and I'm thinking that will be okay. Let's just take 1 millimeter off there. Some of them can cut down okay. See, like I was able to cut down the sunflower one okay. But this one I couldn't cut down to have the border of the Lost Lagoon around it. Let me see, 14.9. Okay, just take that little slither off. Get off. Get off. Okay, let's see. I just put that down and let's have a little look at our card base. This is a piece of basic black, just your normal A5 card base size. And that's just going to go straight on. I really wish I could trim it down a fraction more. I could probably get it down a bit more on the sides. This is where I get anxious that I'm going to ruin it. Trimming it down further. No, I think I've got 14.4. Okay, so that's that. And I think, let's just see, let's just take a little bit more off each side and see if we can get it. I'm not going to get it, oh, I might get it down to 10. Yeah, I think I've wangled it. That's a good thing. Okay, now which way up was I? This way. Yes, I did want the black border, and I've been able to wangle that. I am so happy. Yay. I'll put all my little offcuts in my little bin here on my desk. Okay, so let's get some glue onto the back of our poinsettia. And because it's thicker cardstock, I am trying to put the glue a little bit closer to the edge. So I'll probably have glue spurtage, but let's see how we go. Okay. Grab my tissue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over and rub it like this. Okay, how nice is that looking? It's looking really nice, isn't it? Except we've got a red leaf. But you know what? I'm going to fix that. So I've got this little piece of black cardstock that I am going to heat emboss Merry Christmas onto. And I'm going to use the Merry Christmas from the Reindeer Days bundle. So let me just grab that. So I think that's a really nice Merry Christmas. Okay. Oops. Okay, let me just pop this onto my block, and I'll grab my Versamark ink and my white embossing powder, the Wow white embossing powder. Okay. So I'm just going to ink up my Christmas sentiment. There we go. Yep, that looks okay. I know you can't see that, but it is there. And oh, you can sort of see it. So now let's grab our tray and our white embossing powder. Now I've got a little bit of over powdering. I'm just going to get my little paintbrush. So, just because if I hit it with the heat tool with that there, that will stick the white powder onto the card stock as well, and I don't want that. Okay, pop that there. And this embossing toolkit is the best thing to own. If you love heat embossing, you would not be sorry if you bought this embossing toolkit. It is so good. Now, I think it's about $48 in the annual catalogue. It would be in with all the heat embossing products. So if you're interested in the embossing editions toolkit thing, this thing, you get this paintbrush, you get the tweezers, you get the embossing buddy, and the tray. Such a good thing. Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm just going to grab my heat tool here. Okay. I do love me a little bit of heat embossing. Okay, so now I'm going to grab this. Can you see how beautiful that and how white it is? How great that powder is? I'm going to just trim that down a bit. I'm going to just 2 centimeters. Is that going to be too much? Yes. I'm just going to trim that down a little bit as well. There we go. Might take a little bit more off the ends as well. So we'll bring our poinsettia back in, and this is where it's going to go, right over our boo-boo. I wonder if it's going to cover up too much of the poinsettias. Let's have a look. I think it is. You know what? I could cut. Let's try something. I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to just eyeball it and trim it down even more. There we go. That's going to cover up our dodgy leaf. Sometimes I do this, other times I don't, because I make a mess of trimming down sentiments, but sometimes it works for me. I think that's better, and then it covers up our messy leaves because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so do you know we have black dimensionals? They are really good to use because you can't see them when they're behind black cardstock. they disappear. See how they disappear? So cool. Okay, so I am going to put this one here. And I'm not quite sure if I want what bling I want on my card. So I'll just have to have a little look. See what we've got. Can't see them. Okay. And I'll put that one here. That covers up our little boo-boo. There we go. Nice. You know what I found was really good for these? They say they're gold, but I think they're very yellow. And yeah, I just don't know if they're the right things for Christmas cards. Well, this one it might work on, but on most of the Christmas cards I don't think they do. And they are the gold textured adhesive back dots in the mini catalogue. I am going to use these, and I am only going to use the small ones. So I'm going to put one here, but I think they work with this. I'll put one down here, and I'll put one over here. There you go. There's our card for today. Using the beautiful, so I've got 3 samples now. I will put an insert inside like I did with the sunflower one. Using the beautiful Nature's Painting Kit. In the online store, $44, and it's just a lovely kit to have. It'd be a great Christmas present. So if you want to order it for Christmas, just let me know. And it'd be great to take away on holidays because you've got everything you need. You can just keep doing ones out of the pad and keep colouring and keep colouring. Really nice kit. So let's come back to face view. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's my poinsettia Christmas card from the, I can't even remember what it's called, Nature's Painting Kit. So I hope you like that. I really like my sunflower one. That's a favourite. I like that one. So I hope you enjoyed that, ladies. Have a great week. I hope you have a great start to your week and a great week. And I will see you on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. It is my Card and a Cuppa 12 Weeks of Christmas, but it's also my Make and Create. So for those who ordered from me in October, your little card pack's coming out in the mail, and we can make a card together. But anyone can watch along. So I will see you on Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. for Card and a Cuppa Make and Create 12 Weeks of Christmas. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.